Bookers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gio, and this is the Matador GlobeRider 35, a backpack that is sold out 4 times, retails for $290, and all started with a pocket-sized blanket that was hand-sewn by an engineer who used to work at GoPro. It's like a garden over here with houses and things to rest in the airport. We are in the Doha airport, and we are on our way to Bangkok, final destination Chiang Mai, hang out with some elephants, and more importantly, to fully break down this pack to see if it's worth your hard-earned $290. Should it be your next travel pack? We have arrived in Chiang Mai, Thailand. What a beautiful, amazing place. I do have a couple more gray hairs from the journey, and the gray hairs butt right up to my hairline, which makes me look even balder. This video is not about my insecurities. It is about this 35-liter travel backpack designed by Matador. The founder of this company is Chris Clearman. Mr. Clearman lived in a van for a period of time in Boulder, Colorado. How typical. But I know a thing or two about living in a van also. Did it for a year with my family. And what I know about that is you need to be precise. Everything has a place, everything has a purpose. And with this backpack, I want to know what's up with this outside stretchy pocket. What's up with the smuggler's pocket, that hidden one they put in the back. And this hip belt. Everybody on the interwebs complains about this hip belt. Well, I have a hack for it. And I'm going to show you at the end. And that's my way of saying stay till the end. And I hope that helps with retention, because this whole YouTube thing is a really big deal to me. This pack measures in at 20 inches by 12.5 by 9, retails for $290, is 3.7 pounds with the hip belt and 3.1 pounds without the hip belt. Drop a comment. Do those specs line up with a 35-liter travel pack for you? I think they do. You're towing 3 pounds, you got a nice slim capacity, and the cost is above average, but you're getting premium materials. Let's break those down. The outside material on this pack is going to be 420D recycled nylon. Now, that is not 1680D like you hear about on a lot of travel packs. Just because it is a lower denier does not mean that it is of lesser quality. 420D means it's going to be a little bit lighter. It's also going to be more malleable. It's just about trade-offs. Matador also went against the grain when it comes to the zippers. According to my research, Matador, correct me if I'm wrong, these are Zoom zippers, not YKK zippers. And everyone uses YKK zippers on their travel backpack. But Matador found that Zoom zippers slide just a little bit smoother when it comes to AquaGuard zippers, which keep the water out. And they do have 3 AquaGuard zippers on the top of this bag. Highly underrated thing they did was differentiate the zipper pulls. You have your big loops on this one, and you have a small zipper pull on this front one. That way, if it's dark, you're on the plane, you can't see which pocket you're trying to access, but you just want to grab something quick, you'll know just by touch and feel. The outside of the bag has 4 grab handles, 2 on each side, 2 at the top and the bottom. You have an extra one here on the opposite side of the water bottle holder. You have your luggage pass-through strap in the back that can also be utilized as a grab handle. You have load lifters on the top of the bag. You have your chest strap, the side water pocket holder that I really appreciate. It is super large, can hold a really large water bottle, simple pull tab, stretching material, really easy to use and not over-engineered. Plenty of different attachment points all over this bag to hook things on, including the grab handles. And then you have an interesting take on your compression straps. This bottom one has a nice pull that you can really cinch the bag down with. And this top one comes in an angle. You can get some nice compression on this bag when you really yank on those straps. Check it out. We have another zipper feature. This is a zipper pull through. Slide both through to make the pocket very difficult to access. If you want another layer, then you would grab an S-beaner by Night Eyes, and you would open it, put both zippers through one side, and then lock that side. Now they cannot open it. So you have this barrier. You would take the other side of your S-beaner and lock it into that zipper pull. Lock that down. Now they can't open this, they can't pull this. Protection from thieves. I love traveling with these S-beaners from Night Eyes. I have a size 1 and a size 3. The shoulder straps are a little stiff at first, and they're made with a high density foam that is not super comfortable, but not uncomfortable. I would say right in the mid-range. And then you have some nice padding in the back, and then you have your hip belt that, if you're going to use, really does take the load off of the shoulders and put it on your hips. I like to break the bags down with this top-down view so we get to see the order of pockets as we go through them. We'll start with this outside mesh pocket. It goes really far down in the bag, doesn't take up capacity. My kids threw their scarves or extra water bottles in there, great for storing extra layers. Really nice stash pocket, obviously not going to be for important items because of the ease of access. Next up is your first AquaGuard zipper. This is going to be your internal storage and organization. The pocket does not go very deep down the bag. You can see it stops about a quarter of the way down. But again, everything here is designed with a purpose. I'm able to fit a light tech pack out in here. I have an external SSD drive. I have a nice dongle that I can tuck in one of the pen slots. I threw my key back here for the day, some pens. And here I have earbuds, notepad, and an external charger. At the top of this panel, you have two flat zipper pockets. I got some Dramamine that I threw in there, and then I have a Moft attachable wallet for my phone when I need it. These are gonna be very flat. You don't have too much depth or room in those, but does give you some extra storage. Moving up the bag, you're gonna have your main access point with these nice zipper pulls. It's gonna open the bag up clamshell style. Let's start with the bag empty to show you what we can fit inside. We have this nice high wall, about 5 inches tall. You have your laptop access that is included in the bag, and it's actually a really nice design. I'll get into that in a second. On this side, you have your other internal storage and organization. These are gonna be flatter top pockets because they are gonna compete with that storage that we just went over with the electronics. Then you have two deeper pockets. These are more so gonna push out into the front of the bag in the stretchy area and not take away space from this main compartment. Easy 5 to 7 days worth of clothes in this nice big packing cube. Selfie stick in here, slides in there nice and easily. Another packing cube with socks and underwear. We have our 5-year diary. We have our toiletry pack out. We also got in here the refraction packable backpack by Matador. Great product. I did a whole video on this that I'll link above. Sunglasses case. I'm gonna put this fanny pack from Tumtuck right at the top, and I'm gonna show you why that is crucial when we complete the pack out. As you can see, plenty of room for a 35-day pack out. Even have room in there for another hoodie or a jacket if you wanted. I've talked about these little red whip ties before. I use them for a number of things. They're really for camera gear, but if you don't like your zipper pull, you can throw this on there and it creates a much easier, longer zipper pull to get access to that top pocket. You also always know where that is. I need to smile more in these videos. That's what I tell myself when I watch this. Be happier. I am happy, but man, is Chiang Mai amazing. I'm gonna talk to you about this old city in a second. That last zipper is for this top bucket style compartment. I thought it was kind of odd. Why do you need 2 access points to the bag? But this has come in really handy. And as I told you earlier, if you pack something that you want to grab easily out of the top there, like your waist pack, your fanny pack, maybe a jacket or your day pack, then you can easily get to that from this top bucket compartment. With most other travel backpacks, you would just have that main open clamshell compartment. So you have to kind of dig through your bag to get to something. If it gets jostled around in there, this bucket access has actually come in very handy while we're traveling. Shout out to Chiang Mai. This place is amazing. We are about to head into the ancient old city because I want to show you around just real quick. I know it's about this pack and we'll get to the hip belt. I don't like hip belts, even though this one is removable. This is for hiking, not exploring and being out and about. But in this ancient old city, there are 5 entrances that were used for defense, and elephants used to walk through those entrances. Speaking of elephants, we went to an elephant sanctuary yesterday, very ethical one. We did a lot of research on that to make sure it was ethical. Tested the pack there, held up beautifully. Little waterproofing test and elephant cleaning test. It was great. Highly recommend it. Also highly recommend Chiang Mai because of beautiful temples like this. There's actually 30 of these temples in the old city. The people have been amazing and friendly. The food is cheap. I have also not gotten sick yet, but I keep my mouth shut in the shower. I only drink bottled water and I have not eaten sketchy street food. Surrounded by this moat too. There's one of the walls entrances I was talking about. Beautiful here. On the very back of the bag, you have what they call a smuggler's pocket. Lift up some Velcro, unzip a zipper, and you have a flat pack secret storage pocket for passport or cash. Now I'm gonna attempt to do something that few reviewers have been able to do, and that's to remove this hip belt. And I'm gonna do it on this bench in a crowded area in Thailand. People are gonna stare, but I'm gonna try to get it off quickly. While I'm trying to do that, just a quick demonstration here. There's Velcro on both sides of the hip belt. Inside sleeve of the hip belt would look like this. It has Velcro going along both sides. The Velcro pieces now match up with each other, and it's very hard to slide and move the belt.
That's record time. That is record time.
If you've taken this hip belt off before, you know how difficult that actually is. Now, here's the hack. Matador, I'd love to hear your comment on this. There are actually 2 sleeves back here. This top stitched in, the bottom stitched in. There's no way to open this flap. But if you slide the hip belt through that front pocket, you totally eliminate any Velcro contact. Now, with all the other design features on this bag, I'd be very surprised if that wasn't done on purpose. And that pretty much eliminates some of the biggest gripes about this being a hard to remove hip belt. If you take off the hip belt, you do lose some functionality of the HDPE frame sheet that is Velcroed into the back of this bag. This is also removable. This HDPE frame sheet really shines when you grab the hip belt, cinch it down, and it takes the weight off of your shoulders, puts it directly onto your hips. The other thing it does is make the bag stable or stiff. So if I were to take that out, the bag collapses into a much smaller form factor and it loses a little bit of weight, but it takes away some of that rigidity. Matador also very creative when it came to the laptop sleeve. You can access your laptop from the top portion. Nice magnetic closure, false bottom, slide your laptop in. But it's gonna be very painful to access this if your bag is fully packed. So they made side access laptop compartment also. It also is a very slim compartment, and since it's accessed from the main compartment of the bag, going through. Since it's built in the bag, it doesn't take up actual capacity. Bookers, what a day in Chiang Mai. I think Chris and his team over at Matador have done a great job with this 35-liter pack. It is one of those packs that has actually gotten better the more I've used it. I found more uses for this stretchy outside pocket. I've enjoyed the top and side access for the laptop. Room for improvement for me is on comfort. Padding on the back of the bag and the shoulder straps, it could be a little bit higher quality. The straps here are a little too close. This cutaway portion is like very aggressive. It doesn't really let the strap lay flat on my shoulders. Those are my complaints. Those are my areas of room for improvement. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Does Matador, the 35-liter GlobeRider, earn a spot in your travel setup for $290 and 3.1 pounds without the hip belt? I do think that Christopher has done an amazing job with design and aesthetic, and that goes back to the whole piece of living in a van and knowing exactly where things need to go in tight and small spaces. If you enjoyed this video, I think you're really gonna like this one, where I break down the Tortuga backpack in Istanbul, Turkey, or this one, where I talk about 6 unique travel bags, beautiful scenery of Greece.